experience is a quality daycare center that they get to work in. So with my team, Sarah Marshall, Sarah Box from Social Entrepreneurs, Nicole Lamboli from Renown, and Sherry Jameson from the Food Bank, worked with us, and we went on March 8th of 2017 to Vaughn Middle School with Katie Morales and Auburn Harrison, bringing families from Record Street. And what those families said was that if you do not have a daycare center at the shelter, we will never get out of homelessness. So the good listeners that we all are, we met with Mike and the rest of the folks that you're going to see today, and we developed what is the best of quality sites that you will find in our community right at Record Street for families. So with that, I want to thank the E.O. Wiegand Foundation because they supported the furniture and the painting and developing this beautiful site. I want to thank Western Nevada Supply and Rick Revilio for the donations. If you walk back, there's tiny little toilets about this big, right, for our little guys. So the community support's been incredible. And then I'm going to have my teammate, Oscar Delgado, speak next. So, Oscar. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. First of all, I'd like to recognize our dignitaries. Of course, Vice Mayor Neil Majorian, thank you for being here. Councilman Bob Zian, thank you for being here. I saw Councilman Dare, thank you, sir, for being here. And County Commissioner, County Manager Slaughter, Assistant County Manager Kay Thomas, thank you all for being here. And our representative for Cortez Masto, Jillian Block, thank you for being here. If I didn't mention your name, please wave. I didn't see you guys earlier. No. Also, I'd like to thank, it wouldn't have been able to happen with these organizations, the City of Reno, all the staff. I know we went back and forth on trying to get this up and going as soon as possible. Thank you, Eric Jensen. City of Sparks was involved. I know through Councilman Bobsey and Councilman Bear, you guys as the CDC transition. Washoe County, of course, the Boys and Girls Club, the Children's Cabinet, Volunteers of America. Thank you, Pat, for being here. Food Bank, Community Health Alliance, and again, a special thanks to the Annie Casey Foundation. I think Mike basically said it all, right? I won't speak necessarily to the notes in the sense that we saw a need. We knew there was not one entity that could carry on the entire burden or the entire demand that was needed for our community, and we got to come together. But we knew that also with those minds and sitting at the table, coming together, talking about the issue, we knew there was a really good chance that we weren't really going to tackle the issue if we didn't have people represented talking about those issues, right? So it's so important we met with those families out Vaughn Middle School. It was so important for us to take back those messages to those organizations that we represent. And it was also very, very important to make sure that people understood that it's not as easy as just building a daycare or just as easy as building a home. I was making sure that there were supportive services associated with everything that those families were going to have to be a part of. So here at the daycare here for the Boys and Girls of the E.O. Wiegand Foundation, there's no greater sense of security, no greater sense of comfort for even me and then even my internal family, my wife Sarita here as well, that our family, our twins go to the E.O. Wiegand Foundation to their daycare on Foster Drive. And so it's so important that people recognize that it's not just a daycare, it's a state-of-the-art daycare here for families here at our homeless shelter. And I can guarantee anyone that walks in here, as you guys have seen already, is you can pick this daycare up and take it to any place in the city of Reno and you will not know the difference. And that's what these kids need, that's what they should feel when they leave here, to know that they're going to be successful, given that the people in this room today will help them achieve that. Thank you everyone for being here, it means so much to me. Today is just not the end to completing a project, it's the very beginning. So make sure you stay connected to what the club is doing here. Make sure you stay connected to what VOA is doing here, to all the services that are being taken here. And it's going to be continuous. As we know that the issues here at the City of Reno are going to continue to grow, and it's going to be that much more important to build on those public and private partnerships moving forward. And with that being said, no greater, I'd love to introduce my friend and mentor as well, Mike Brown with the Boys and Girls Club. Thank you all.
I never want to forget or miss an opportunity to introduce Oscar as a former youth of the year of the Boys and Girls Club. So we're very proud of our alumni at the Boys and Girls Club. But I do want to say special thanks, and there's been so many thank yous already. And I will say that as we came into this group and worked as part of this collaborative, I mean, it's been amazing to see how many yes people came to the table to make this happen over a period of time. And I know some days it seemed like it took a little longer than we had hoped for, but we got here. But I do want to thank, anytime I have a chance to speak, I want to thank the group that I represent. So I stand on a lot of shoulders as a director of the Boys and Girls Club with a great staff and great board that allow us to do opportunity like this. And if staff and board at the Boys and Girls Club in the crowd, just please give a little wave so people can recognize you. Thank you. When we were deciding to become part of the collaborative, you know, our piece has been pretty focused over 4 decades. That's working with kids and primarily school-age kids. But Kim's expertise in our family allowed us to expand that a number of years back, I think in '07 and '08, when we actually opened the daycare. And that was a lesson for the youngsters out there, never say never, right? So we always said we'd never run a daycare. So Kim has been doing a phenomenal job at ELC 1 down on Foster Drive. And it's because of her talent, her skills, that's allowed us to have the courage or the energy to step into this project too. So I'm gonna introduce her in just a second. But the other thing that's so important about this is that, and as Mike and Sherry and others have helped educate us through this process, you know, this is an important part of that getting out of homelessness and transitioning back into the real world, so to speak, and that's having a safe place to take your child. You know, when you see it with employees and families and everything alike, that if you're not comfortable where your children are at during the day, you're not going to be very productive out in your work life or maybe trying to find a job or whatnot, right? So this becomes a very important piece. The other piece that's important for us is that a lot of people know us as the site down on East 9th Street, but we have 22 sites in northern Nevada now, stretching from Ely and Winnemucca, Fernley, and all throughout Reno and Sparks. And it's important for us to connect with these families here, so as they transition back out, we're part of their decision making as to where they live or which school they go to, so they can get to the Boys and Girls Club, because it opens the door for resources that would be available for their kids all the way through high school. So that's an important part for us to make that connection at a very young age and then be able to carry out that support until we can help those children do our part in helping those children becoming productive citizens and part of our community. So the only way we're able to do this project, the only reason we're here today is because of this young lady that I want to introduce. And Kim's been with us since 2007 in this project, a little bit before that. Her background is early childhood. She's had a long history of that and education with that. Beyond that, she doesn't just practice that, she lives that. She's a foster mom and has fostered 50 or plus kids in her time.